Going here. All right, so let's call to order the Village of East Dundee regular meeting dated May 3rd, 2021 at 6 p.m. Catherine, would you take the roll, please?
Lineham.
Here.
Trustee Selip.
Here.
Trustee Wood.
Here.
Trustee Mahoney.
Here.
Trustee Andreessen.
Here.
Trustee Coonsey.
Here.
And President Miller.
Here. All right, very good. Catherine, I think you have the first item on the agenda.
Swearing in Jeffrey J. Lineham.
All right.
If you raise your right hand and repeat after me, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. I, Jeffrey J. Lineham,
I, Jeffrey J. Lineham,
having been elected to the office of Village President,
having been elected to the office of Village President
Village of East Dundee,
in the Village of East Dundee
in Cook and Kane Counties,
and Cook and Kane Counties,
State of Illinois,
the State of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Village President
of the office of Village President
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Sarah Britton. I, Sarah Britton,
I, Sarah Britton,
having been elected
to
the office of Village Trustee,
the office of Village Trustee,
Village of East Dundee,
Village of East Dundee,
in Cook and Kane Counties,
in Cook and Kane Counties,
State of Illinois,
State of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Village Trustee
of the office of Village Trustee
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
And Tricia Saviano. I, Tricia Saviano,
I, Tricia Saviano,
having been elected to the office of Village Trustee
having been elected to the office of Village Trustee
in the Village of East Dundee,
in the Village of East Dundee,
in Cook and Kane Counties,
Cook and Kane Counties,
State of Illinois,
State of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Village Trustee
of the office of Village Trustee
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I believe it's your meeting now, Jeff.
Muted, Jeff.
I'm sorry?
Jeff, you're
Sorry,
muted.
yeah, I was muted there. Sorry about that. So, okay, well, then why don't we continue on? We've got item D on the agenda items, update on the unfilled trustee seat. Jennifer, was there any update or information on this, or does anybody have any history
Yeah,
of what it's all about?
the village attorney, Greg Smith, has an update.
Oh,
I can give a
okay.
brief update on this matter. Thank you and congratulations, President Lineham, and to new trustees Britton and Saviano, and to the remaining members of the village board. I look forward to working with all of you going forward. Congratulations, glad you're here. As you're all aware, trustees Andreessen, Sellup, and Wood had expiring terms of office that were up as of today. In the election that was held on April 6th of this year, only 2 people filed papers to run for the 3 open trustee seats. Trustees Britton and Saviano ran, were elected, and were just sworn in. They're now members of the village board. Under state law and the village code, trustees who are elected to terms of office serve for 4 years and until their successors are elected and qualified. In this case, the Village of East Dundee has a situation where there is 1 unfilled trustee seat by the election. My understanding is that trustees Sellup and Wood have tendered resignations and have renounced any interest that they had in continuing to serve as of the swearing in of trustees Britton and Saviano, and trustee Andreessen filed a statement that he intended to continue into office until his seat is declared vacant by the village board, and then filled basically until his successor is qualified. So my understanding is that as of this time, trustee Andreessen will continue to serve in the unfilled seat because no one was duly elected to that position in the election. And I just wanted to give that update. I know that the paperwork relating to this matter was sent around by email to the board last week by, I believe it was Administrator Johnson. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't want to be an obstructionist on this, but I don't know where there's any legal precedent for this. There's already been communication from the state's attorney, county state's attorney, Jamie Moser, as well as the clerk, John Cunningham, and they were both baffled by this. So Greg, I need you to help me with this and send out some information or some anything that would be regarding ordinance that would support this. I mean, I don't know how to respond to this.
Okay, I would be happy, President Lineham, to talk with you if you've had contacts with the state's attorney and the county clerk. I'd be happy to hear from them about this matter, and I suggest that you and I connect tomorrow. I'll give you a call, and we can certainly, I would very much like to hear about those conversations and get any input that they have on the situation as well.
Jeff, I'm sorry to jump in, but
I'm sorry, you froze up there.
You were included on the email that had Greg has already stated 2 precedents for this in the email from last week. Did you have a chance to review that?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I lost my whole screen just froze there. So in the middle of Greg's explanation on that, I lost you. Yeah, all I saw was an email from Scott indicating his intention to stay, and the email from both Dan and Kirsten indicating their intention to leave. That's all I've seen. And so, as I say, if Greg,
There was a full opinion sent out by Attorney Smith, I believe it was last Thursday or Friday, that gave a full detailed analysis that you are now seeking.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and.
It was sent last Wednesday.
Oh, my bad.
Well, okay, and if that's the case,
President
great.
and the Board of Trustees.
Well, okay, we're not going to spend too much time on this one. I'll go ahead and review that and then send out a communication to everybody. But I'm going to have to review this. As I say, I don't have any knowledge of this or anything as far as precedents. And as I say, the information that I did get from both the state's attorney and the clerk in King County, they had nothing to offer as far as election law that would provide for this. So I really don't know how to respond to it. I'll go ahead and read Greg's email, but that notwithstanding, I really don't know that this is the way to go, because I don't think there's any legal support for it. So, I mean, if you want to run, you run. If you don't, that's okay. You know, I mean, it's like, you can't make your decision halfway through, because not any, no, nothing negative on Scott, but well, why Scott and why not your neighbor? I mean,
Because Scott was already on the board.
Well, what does that matter? I can name 10 people who are already on
Well,
the
I mean, by your logic of if you want to run, then run, the people that you're going to appoint haven't run. So, I mean. it's
Well,
just-
right, but if there's,
Sure.
right, and because people didn't run, then the power to appoint rest village presidents. So, but I will go ahead and review Greg's email on this, and then I'll go ahead and send out, information if there's any that I can gather on it to the board, and we'll go from there.
And
So-
President Lineham, I'd be happy to discuss this matter with you. I'd prefer to discuss my opinions in a confidential setting, but of course I'm available
Sure.
anytime that you would like to talk. So please let me know when you're ready, and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Greg. I appreciate that. Okay, so well, then, based on that, yeah, Scott, welcome to the board, at least for for the rest of the evening. So, okay, well, then we got item E, which is a service.
Actually, President Lineham,
Yeah.
you mentioned that there were communications with the county clerk and another party. If there were, those probably should be provided to the board.
As well, agree.
Okay, yeah, well, there weren't communications other than just spoken, they
Oh.
were actually just done in, but if we need to have, something in writing that either allows for it or disallows it, then yeah, I'll provide that. I'll get that. So, but I mean, there's nothing that they could point to that provides for this. That's the struggle. And so they weren't really able to give any sort of, opinion on it, legal or otherwise, because they'd never heard of this, I really don't know what more I can provide, but I'll go ahead and.
If it was just verbal communications, a written summary wouldn't be of any value anyway.
Do we have to swear Scott in?
No, I'm just saying.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I really, I don't know what this is all about, so I'm uncomfortable doing anything further with it.
Greg,
So I'm asking for.
he doesn't need to be sworn, Greg, he doesn't need to be sworn back in, does he?
No.
Because he's
No,
already,
he does not. He is continuing as a holdover trustee because his term of office expired and no one has been qualified to replace him. And so he is under his prior oath. He still serves under oath. He must meet his oath of office. He does not have to be sworn in because he hasn't began a new term.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, just for future reference, we have 2 seats then that are filling in. One would be mine to replace me as I move over, and one for the third trustee that didn't run. Not that I don't want to get into this too deeply, but what if trustees Sullivan and Wood decided to pursue the same situation, or avenue?
Well,
How would that be?
are you talking about for the other seat that is your seat?
Right.
No, that Greg did outline all of this.
yeah, it's all in the email.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
it was
I get
actually,
my
it was
email
sent on
every day.
April 22nd, to be
Yeah,
clear.
there's
It
been
was sent
2
April
emails about it.
22nd.
Okay, I'll go through it then, but I've been in my email every day and I didn't see it, so I overlooked it, but I'll go ahead and take a peek at that then. So,
Hey, Jeff,
yeah.
just so you know, I signed basically a letter stating that I was not interested in being a holdover, just so
Right, I saw
aware.
that. I saw
Okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah, yours and Dan's. I saw them both.
All right.
Right. No, my question was hypothetical, so. Okay, well, is there anything else then we need to discuss on this issue, or for now, we're good? Okay, great. All right, let's move on then. We got agenda item E, which is the service plaque presented to President Lael Miller. So who would like to make, there we are. Look at that. All right.
Plaque is presented to Lael Miller in appreciation for your dedicated service and commitment to the Village of East Dundee as village president from 2013 to 2021, village trustee from 2009 to 2013, and as a planning and zoning commissioner from 2008 to 2009.
All right, very good.
Yay.
Thank you,
Good job,
Lael.
Leo.
Yeah, Lael, I mean, we've worked together a long time. You got into the village government about the same time I did. I was elected to the board in 2007, and it was through another mutual trustee, if you will, that we got to first meet, and it's been a real pleasure, really, working.
I still hold that against them too.
I'm sorry?
I said I still hold that against them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, you know, I'll bring you two together, and you can take a quick swipe at them.
Yeah,
But,
I could have a moment, just one moment here, President Lanham, just to say thank you.
yeah.
You know, it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve the village, and especially this board. Jeff and I have been around long enough. We've gotten a lot of great things done for this village. I mean, you know, when I grew up, we were always told you could do whatever you want. Didn't work so well for me, but you know, the village, I think, has finally taken that attitude that, you know, it can do whatever it wants. We've been through the worst financial crisis, the worst banking crisis, the worst housing crisis, and now a global pandemic, and we've still managed to get stuff done. And that's due to staff. I mean, this board executes policy, and the staff is the one that executes it and carries it out. And so Jennifer and all the team that she's put together, from the department heads all the way down to the guys that are riding the sewers, I just want to say thank you, because without you guys, none of this would happen. It's every single one of you guys working 24 hours a day, and I want you to know that you make us look good. So thanks for that. And then, you know, just a quick note to the new board members. The other thing I was always taught is when you borrow the car, you bring it back with a tank full of gas. You got a tank full of gas, new tires, a rebuilt engine. You guys can go anywhere you want if you work as a team. So good luck to all of you. You have my full support. You can call me almost anytime you want, and good luck to you.
Oh, well, thanks, Leo. We really appreciate it. You've done a hell of a job. We really have. Really appreciate it. So, okay. Well, then our next item is for a service plaque presentation to Trustee Dan Sellup. Hey, look at that.
Presented to Dan Sellup in appreciation for your dedicated service and commitment to the Village of East Dundee as village trustee from 2013 to 2021.
All right. Well done.
Thank you.
Yay, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Good job. Yeah, I'd just like to thank Dan. He's done a great job. I mean, this is, you know, my hat's off to anybody who serves. It really is, because it's, you know, as I think we all know, and some will find out, it's a volunteer position, and too oftentimes it's thankless. And but when you get into it and you really start to work towards the village and working towards projects that we're getting together on as a team, and you see it happen and you see it finished, oh man, there's just nothing quite as satisfying. And Dan's been around for a lot of the change. He's seen the real lows of the village. I mean, the downtown alone was really boy, I'll tell you, it was in rough shape for a while there, but we brought it back, and so he's been a big part of that. So we really appreciate the effort, Dan. We hope to see you at all the community events too. You know, there's still need for volunteers, so you're not going to get out that easily.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. It's been a great run, and we really have brought the village a long way. And you know, just keep it going, man.
We will.
I'm looking forward to seeing new buildings going up and new developments.
Absolutely,
let's
absolutely. We'll keep your housing value as high as we can.
Thank you.
All
God
right.
bless you all. I wish you the best.
There you go.
Dan.
Okay, so now we've got item G, which is a service plaque presentation to Trustee Kirsten Wood.
Here, here.
Right.
Presented to Kirsten Wood in appreciation for your dedicated service and commitment to the Village of East Dundee as village trustee from 2013 to 2021.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys. I had a great run. I will echo Dan's words, and it was a great experience for me, having never done it before. I'd like to thank Leo for putting the bug in my ear and supporting me when I first got in as a village trustee. I am looking forward to seeing the new board members, you know, make their way through the weeds of village trusteedom. But I had a great time, you guys, and it was very, very nice working with all of you. And I know that I will see you around town, and I'm proud of what I did, and I'm proud of what we did as a board. So I appreciate all of your support, and I would like to extend a great thanks to Catherine because she's always been so supportive, and Jennifer for all the hard work that she's done over her tenure, and Lael just because you're you. So I appreciate it. And Jeff.
Hey, there you go.
And Jeff,
Kirsten,
good luck to you, man. It's not an
thank
easy
you.
shoe. Those are not easy shoes to fill. So
No, absolutely
good
not.
luck.
Absolutely. We're going to have a challenge, but you know what? I think we'll get there. And actually, you know, you've helped really over the last 8 years now, when you think about how many things have changed, I'll tell you, it really has been a big lift for the village. And one of the things that Kirsten, you were most, you know, instrumental in was the community events. And so I'm hoping that you'll find time to join on some of the ones that are coming up and volunteer, because you had a real big impact on that. That's a lot of work. I know, because I've done it. And boy, I tell you, it's really been a big boost that you've given the town. So 8 years, that's a big commitment. It really is. So we really thank you for your help.
Yes, you're very welcome, guys. So appreciate it all.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so then the next one is item H for a service plaque presented to Trustee Scott Andreessen.
I hope it's in pencil.
Here we go.
Maybe we could put that one on hold.
I said, I hope that plaque's in pencil.
Yeah, there you go.
I could scratch it up.
Right. I'll just erase the date.
Presented to Scott Andreessen in appreciation for your dedicated service and commitment to the Village of East Dundee as village trustee from 2017 to 2021.
Whatever.
Right. Beautiful. Thank you. Scott, we really appreciate the help you've done so far, and well, as of today, that you're going to continue to do.
Nice.
You know, the last 4 years have been a real effective term. You only served one term, but wow, I mean, there was a lot we saw happen in that time. So we got 311 going. We've got a number of new businesses in the downtown. We've filled out Prairie Lakes with 3 new operations, which is huge, especially when you consider that there was maybe a week and a half left on the TIF. So that was big. And then of course, Caterpillar. I mean, that's going to be, kind of a legacy to this board as it sits right now. And so we're going to work, I mean, we've got a lot of other things to do and some other challenges and opportunities. And so I'm hoping too that you'll, make your presence known, continue to do that. So, but we really appreciate the effort.
Guys, I look forward to working with the new board. It's only been 4 years, but sometimes it's felt like 43. And I like to think that I compressed, 8 to 10 years worth of work into 4 years. So looking forward to continuing that and working with the new makeup of the board.
Good enough. Good enough. Thank you so much. So, okay. Well, now we have a service plaque presentation to the Planning and Zoning Chairman, John Brewer, but I understand he wasn't able to join us today. So we can go ahead and recognize him nonetheless.
Presented to John Brewer in appreciation for his dedicated service and commitment to the Village of East Dundee as Planning and Zoning Chairman from 2013 to 2020 and as Planning and Zoning Commissioner from 2008 to 2013.
Wow. That's
John
wonderful.
had a couple words he sent me today. Unfortunately, he was not able to attend, but he wanted to express his appreciation for the recognition and thanks to the board and to the village staff for their support during his service. Also, best wishes to the new board members for success. And he hopes to see some of you at the summer events.
Great, great. Well, I'll tell you, as long as I've been around, John's been around. And he's been the only commissioner I've known since I've been involved with the village, and has done a wonderful job as doing it. That really is a kind of an unrecognized or too often unrecognized position. The P&Z do a really good job for us, and they get a hold of some of these issues before we do, and kind of feel out the situation, and they make it easier on us, because we give that opinion of any situation that's coming before the board to them. And we have 9 people that are going to collectively, decipher through some of it and then kind of give us their take on it. So it really helps out the board, having known what some of the questions that they asked and what their positions on it were. And so it really does make our job easier. So we really appreciate John's effort.
So I just had a question about that. Has a new chairman been named for that board, or is that something that still needs to be done?
Well, that'll be something that needs to be done. Yeah, I understand that John had stepped down some time ago. That isn't just, a recent transpiration. So I'm actually, I've been talking to a number of people who are interested and it's going to be one of those appointments that I'm going to have to do. I'm hoping to be able to have most of the appointments done and ready to go within the next week or two. So we'll go from there. But anybody that has been interested, or if anybody on the board has anybody they think might be a good candidate for some of these positions, P&Z, there's actually a number of people on the board at P&Z who have indicated that they might be stepping down. Another one would be Paul Meyer, wonderful guy, been around forever. He really is just a dedicated individual. And unfortunately, I don't think his attendance with the planning and zoning has been, what he would prefer it to be. And I tend to think he might be looking to step down as well. So that's going to be another spot. And there's actually been some word on the street, nothing that can be substantiated, that there might be one or more. I don't know if there's really going to be that many, but that might, want to step aside and give somebody else a chance as well. So if that's the case, this will hopefully be an ongoing thing, but I don't want it to go too far into the future because, we need to have all our build and hitting on all 8 cylinders. So, but any of the individuals who would be nominated will certainly be available to the sitting trustees to get to know, call them, ask questions, find out who they are, what they are, why they want to do this, and what they hope to see. And then you can bring that kind of information back to the group and then help us out. Give us your take on what you've learned. And that'll make it easier then for everybody, to make a decision. And it doesn't matter if it's a P&Z commissioner, if it's a police commissioner, pension, trustee, whatever it is. So, communication's the key on that. So.
And President Lineham, if I may, these appointments do come back to the board for advice and consent.
Correct.
So they'll be back on the agenda when they're.
Right. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, as I say, everyone will have an opportunity to get to know any of the candidates or whatever, the nominees, if you will. So yeah, and so when we get together and talk about this, of course, it will be an item that comes back, and it'll be a group decision. So that'd be great. So okay, well let's continue on then. We got a public comment on agenda items only. Is there anybody who's part of the public on with us tonight that would like to speak about agenda items? Anything?
Well, President Lineham, I would like to speak briefly, if I may, about the presentations that were just made.
Okay.
Unless anybody else wants to say anything further. I just feel like I have to take the opportunity to say a little bit, at least, about each person. So, first, I just want to thank Lael. I think, Jeff, you'll be the 8th village president that I've worked with. And Lael was the 7th. And I can't say enough about his strengths, which is obviously his leadership. He's very efficient, his ability to build consensus, and his general heart and how much he cares about people. It's so genuine, and it's really, really going to be missed. And I just want everybody to know, hopefully somebody watches our board meeting, what a great leader I thought he was. And I just want to thank him for his service. Dan, what can I say about Dan? I always say, the greatest thing about Dan is anytime I'm meeting with any business owner or any developer, I can tell them there is one trustee on the village board who is going to be your cheerleader. and every time it happens, and I don't think anyone really understands and sees that full picture, how influential Dan's positive attitude has been to this village and how he really has championed economic development just by putting the right face forward and saying the right thing at the right time and always smiling about it. And Dan, it's been such a pleasure to work with you, and I just thank you for your service.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Valuable. You're welcome. And Kirsten, I hope she's still on. Yes, Kirsten.
Yeah, I'm on.
What can I say about Kirsten? Well, thank you so much for your service, Kirsten. Obviously, I think everyone would agree the best thing about you is that you speak your mind when you need to do it. And it's like a saving grace. It's like you are not afraid to say that thing that everybody else is thinking. And it's so rational and succinct and well thought out. And I cannot tell you how much I have appreciated your opinions and perspective and your participation, and especially your thoughts about the event, even if it was like, let's get baseball tees at the merch tent and everything. So thank you so much, Kirsten. You're definitely going to be missed as well.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind, Jennifer. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. And trustee Scott Andreessen. I've only known you for 4 years because you weren't on the board until a year after I got here. But, Scott has obviously impressed everybody. He's obviously very tenacious. And here you are. Here you are continuing, and what an asset. I've had a few attorneys on the village board before in my past villages, but what an asset, no offense, Greg, to have somebody with that clear logic and that ability to understand complicated matters. You've been an asset so far on the village. You're also not afraid to speak your mind, but I don't even think I needed to mention that. For however long you're here, I'm excited to have you, and I thank you for your service thus far.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm sorry John Brewer can't be here. Last but not least, my favorite thing about John Brewer is he grew up in Batavia, so we got to sit and talk about Batavia all the time. But John, what a volunteer. I have worked with 4 P&Zs. It is very difficult to be the chairman of a planning and zoning commission. These topics are complicated, over their head, difficult, contentious. We had to go through cannabis. We had to go through issues where the property owners, the neighbors are upset. John did that, and he did it well with a very large P&Z of 9 members. And he did it for a long time, and he really cared. It wasn't unusual for John to call and touch base before the meeting. He was always prepared. He was always respectful, and he just did an amazing job. So I wish he was here. I wish him the best. I'm so glad that he's just taking it easy. But for all of you who didn't work with John closely, just know that he was a great guy, and he did a great service for this village. So with that, my 5 minutes is probably way up. So thank you, President Lynham, for allowing me to speak.
Clock wasn't ticking. Oh, hello? Oh, okay. Well, since I don't, we don't see any other public comments on agenda items only. Is nobody? Great. Okay. All right. Well, this gives us an opportunity now to get to the public hearing. Considering a sign variance, can I have a motion for this to open a public hearing?
Trustee, you do that, I'm going to pull a Cincinnatus and go back to my fields. It was nice seeing you guys. I'll be
Okay.
We're not dead yet, so say hi if you need to.
Thank you, Leo. Leo, I'm going to be touching base with you a lot in the near
See you
future.
later.
So, yes. So,
I haven't blocked your cows yet.
okay. All
So
right. Thanks, Leo.
do we jump off too now, Jeff?
Bye.
Well, if you'd like to, there's like I say, we won't fault you, but we hope you'll certainly stop back in.
Of course I will. All
All
right.
right, good enough.
Take
Thank you
care,
so
guys.
much.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Bye, Jeff.
thanks, Kristen. Thanks, Dan. Okay. All right, so we've got public hearing. So if I can have this is a public hearing, we have open and comment, is that?
Yep.
am I-
I'll make a motion to consider a request for a variance from chapter 156 signs of the East Dundee Village Code to allow for 4 wall signs at 110 Prairie Lakes Road, East Dundee 60118.
That's a motion to open the public hearing. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Motion
Thank
to
you.
open the public hearing.
Okay. All righty,
Okay.
and then again, Greg, we are not under any time limit or restriction or
Correct.
to keep
That's
it
right. We
open.
just need a trustee to second it, and then you could ask the
I
clerk
will
to call the
second
roll
that.
to open.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Okay, we can open that then. We've got it seconded. Wonderful. So is
Yeah,
there
and we do
anybody
need a
on-
vote, a roll call vote in order to have the motion rolled on.
Right,
Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Andreessen?
Yes.
Trustee Coonsey?
Yes.
Trustee Britton?
Yes.
And Trustee Saviano?
Yes.
And President Lineham?
Yes. Okay, so now, do we need a motion to close the public meeting then? Is that what we'll need?
So typically, right now, you would ask if anyone is here to speak on this matter, if
Oh,
staff
right.
wants to
Okay,
briefly
I'm sorry.
present the request, and then it would be a
Right.
motion and a second and a vote to close. You're right.
Okay, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself there. So do we have anybody on the line, on the call, who would like to address the board concerning this issue? No? All right, well,
Do
seeing
not
none.
believe we do. Yeah, I do
do.
not see a representative. Chris or Brad, do you see a representative here?
I've got 2 screens worth of people, and
I do not see. I don't think
Right.
anybody's on.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they were invited to come on. Maybe they just couldn't make it. But it's a similar request that we had for the other Prairie Lakes properties.
Right. So actually, though, Chris, just to give a little bit of background, if you could, I mean, it's really just for Ulivan. That's the building that's right off of 68 as you first come into the Prairie Lakes development, and they want a sign basically on all 4 sides of the building, correct?
Well, it's 3 sides of the building. It's just that there's 2 signs on one where the will call.
Oh, right.
Print
I
is
saw
they've
that.
got a will call and then they parts and then their name above it.
Right.
So it's the one sign would face 68, one sign would face Prairie Lake, and the other sign would face the parking lot.
Right.
The will
Right.
call signs.
Nothing facing the water tower.
No.
Wouldn't make much sense. Exactly.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess we can.
Yeah, I'll move to close the public hearing.
Close the public
I'll
meeting.
second.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Do
Trustee
you need a vote on
Mahoney?
that then?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Andreessen?
Yes.
Trustee Coonsey?
Yes.
Trustee Britton?
Yes.
Trustee Saviano?
Yes.
And President Lineham?
Yes. Okay. Next item then, it brings us to our consent agenda. It looks like we have 2 issues here that are motions for meetings. If I could have a motion.
Yeah, I will move to approve the special village board meeting minutes dated April 12th, 2021, and the also the regular village board meeting minutes dated April 19th, 2021.
Okay. Anybody have any
I'll second.
discussion?
Well, we got a second. Yeah.
I'll
Oh, I'm sorry, second. Good. Sorry, thank you. And does anybody have any questions or discussion on these minutes? No? I went through them too and didn't see anything that stood out, so. Okay. I'm sorry, Catherine, can you take the vote?
Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Andreessen?
Yes.
Trustee Coonsey?
Yes.
Trustee Britton?
Yes.
And Trustee Saviano?
Yes.
Great. Okay, brings us to other agenda items. If I can have a motion for this, number 8.
I will move to approve an ordinance of the Village of East Dundee, Cook and Kane Counties, Illinois, approving a sign variation from Chapter 156, Signs of the East Dundee Village Code, to allow for 4 wall signs for Ulivan Holdings LLC at 110 Prairie Lake Road, East Dundee, Illinois, 60118.
Okay, I see that's, all right, wonderful. Well, obviously, it's just the same issue that we had in our public meeting. So is there any further discussions? Anybody have anything?
I think that these signs, just as the previous ones did, seem wholly appropriate for any business, manufacturing business. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
And in addition to that, I also think we should be taking a look at our sign ordinance for M1. This has come up, I think this is the second or third time this has come up in the last 6 months.
I think it's the third time in the last month and a half, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and looking at putting some structure around that. Fourth time? Jennifer says fourth time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, wait, Caterpillar too, right?
Fortunately, we're out of space that isn't already somewhat regulated, like the Terra Business Park is covered. But we do have 12 acres next to Caterpillar. And High Street is probably in need of it too. So we're well aware, because we do think that this is an extra burden that we're putting on these business owners that we just need to come to the right conclusion on what the regulations might be. And in order to do that, I think we need to do some research on what we have already, and then what other towns are also requiring. So we will definitely bring that back. Excellent point. And thank
Right.
you.
So can I ask then, is the main sticking point from what we have in ordinance and what's being requested centering strictly around size of the signs? Because it, putting on each of the sides of the building is really not too burdensome. So I'm thinking
there is no regulation
in the ordinance
currently. So
there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, the idea of signs in general, I recall when I was on the previous board with Rob Gorman, we took a look.
And me.
What's
I
that?
I was there with you working on.
I think you were, right.
Yeah.
And didn't we explore electronic signs and some of the ordinances surrounding that? And so I don't know really if we came to anything concrete, simply because it was so new for us. But there were a lot of requests kind of like this. It seemed like everybody all of a sudden wanted an electronic sign. And I think it would do us some good to see what we have surrounding this, and then maybe put something a little bit more concrete in place. So,
okay.
All right.
Get a roll call.
Yeah. Catherine.
Trustee Mahoney,
Yes.
trustee Andreessen,
Yes.
trustee Coonsey,
Yes.
trustee Britton,
Yes.
and trustee Saviano.
Yes.
Okay, the next item is the financial reports. Just, kind of a quick word for Trish and Sarah. It's a whole boatload of all the checks that we write every month. So you'll see that going through, and there'll be a number of them that probably, if you go through them, each one, you might have questions. Don't, hesitate to ask Jennifer a call, or any one of us actually. And they can help out with that. And I usually go through it probably with more of a fine tooth comb than it's necessary, but some of them might raise questions for you. So, don't hesitate to ask. So next is village reports. As my first report as village president, I really want to welcome Sarah and Trish to the board. I mean, this is a wonderful thing. Like I say, I tip my hat to anybody who gets involved in this, having been around as long as I have. I understand, what's involved, and everyone then who's holding over as well. I really appreciate all the help. I mean, this is going to be a real challenge for me. And I just want to let you know rather that, I'm looking forward to working with everybody, because it's going to be a team effort. It's going to have to be. No one person can do everything that we have to run a town. It would just be ridiculous to assume. And so I really want to tell everybody that I appreciate all the help now and in the future. And so, we'll get it all done. There's a lot of opportunity left in East Dundee, and we're going to take advantage of it and see what we can do. Try and bring some real positive change, or not change, but just continue on, really, because I think we're doing really well as we stand. So, And that's about it that I have. So why don't we go to Trustee Mahoney?
No real report, just good luck to all of us. I look forward to working together with you all in the future, and reach out again if you've got any questions, but that's all I have.
Great, great. And Trustee Coonsey?
I did notice in the news that Elgin was doing away with their liquor license fees for the year in response to obviously COVID from last year, and just the money that, you know, these businesses might have struggled with their loss. And I don't know, I think maybe it's something we should explore as well, at least look at it. I'm not sure exactly what that would cost us. Maybe we can, I know last year, I guess we cut them in half or took out.
Yeah, we did. We provided a little relief that way as much as we could. So yeah, we can look at that again.
Okay.
With we gave basically 3 months free, 1 quarter.
Right.
Last year.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then, well, no, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, great. Trustee Andreessen?
No report.
No report. Okay. Trustee Saviano?
Just happy to be here. Other than that, no report.
Great, great. Well, again, welcome to the board. And Trustee Britton?
Same as Trisha. Thank you all for your offers of support. I know I'll be taking you up on all of them.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, like I say, welcome to the board. So, okay, why don't we go start with, well, we'll go in order of what I see. Village Attorney?
No report this evening. Thank you.
Okay. Engineer, Joe?
No report this evening.
No report. Okay. Phil, Public Works?
Yes, good evening. Just a quick report. I'm pleased to report that we took delivery of our village's newest dump truck today. Anxious to show it off to all of you and the community, and certainly we'll make sure we get it enter it into the upcoming parade events for the balance of this year. So we're excited to have it as part of our fleet. So
yeah, that was the big one that we ordered last year, correct?
that's correct. So last summer we placed the order, and took a little bit longer to manufacture because of the pandemic. The manufacturing sites had some COVID outbreaks. So
great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to building department. Chris, how you doing? Yeah, you're on
I'm
mute.
doing well. I'm doing
All
well.
right.
Thank you. I don't have a report. Thank you.
Okay. We go to Deputy Chief Stewart. Anything from the police department?
No report.
No report. Okay. Well, we got Brandis. That's wonderful. Finance. How we doing?
Hi, I just have 2 things. One is we are gearing up for our audit, so you'll be seeing some information maybe coming up soon about that. And 2, in your board package, you'll see 2 different warrants. We are closing out the year, but there are still some invoices and transactions that may still be coming through from the fiscal year that we are closing. So you'll see still transactions from fiscal year 21, and you'll see transactions for the new fiscal year. So you'll see 2 different invoice or 2 different warrants in your packet.
Okay.
That's it for me.
So it's just carryover payments, basically.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, super. Greg, I see you're on the line from Public Works. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
I don't.
Okay.
Things are going well. Public Works wise, like Phil said, we got the new dump truck eventually here, and everybody's definitely excited to get in it and make use of it for sure.
All right, great.
The ones that were outgoing.
Okay, and then last but not least, let's go with our village administrator. I probably should have started with you. You normally do that. I kind of got out of step here. I don't have a list in front of me. Jennifer,
Yeah. I'm
what,
sorry, we used to list them on the agenda, but it made the agenda unnecessarily long, so.
right, well, I saw that, and I was looking at, I got it printed out here, and I thought, hey, you know what, we used to print them, so sorry, I went out of turn there.
No, no apologies.
I'm just
It's probably
going
better.
by the panes on the screen here.
I'd rather everybody else talk first anyway, so then I don't, I don't steal their thunder on accident. So I just wanted to obviously welcome Trisha and Sarah to the board. The department heads and I did have the opportunity to spend over 2 hours with them, inundating them with all sorts of information about all their duties and all the village departments. But I just want to thank you for stepping up and remind you that we are available as a team to answer any and all questions you may have. So just feel free to reach out, email us, call us at any time. We'd be happy to help you. I don't really have another report except, I wanted to remind everybody that the events are coming up and the end of May is our first one, May 27th. So we will be, because we do not have an events committee in place right now, we're going to be selecting some of the vendors. We've received like the liquor vendor applications, but we're going to bring them back to the board at the next board meeting for your input. We're just going to have to decide this first one for May 27th due to a timing. We want to make sure that we do have a vendor. And then our goal, as always, is to spread it out to anybody who's interested. So you'll be seeing that soon. And it's just a very, very exciting time for us, especially this year. So just remember, Thirsty Thursdays is May 27th, and then the Memorial Day Parade as well. Yeah. So you'll have 2 things that week if you're available.
Great.
Jennifer,
Great.
I just have a question. Was everything okay with the postcard? Are there any other edits?
I don't think there was any additional edits. Brad is on the phone. I think we made those changes, right, to the businesses, those final changes, right?
Yes, I believe.
Okay. You received those, right, Gail, that were, or Gail sent over to you, Trustee Mahoney?
No.
Oh. Okay, we'll follow up with you.
Okay.
I think we might be in some sort of limbo, but I thought the map was ready to go. So we will follow up with you on that one.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad you brought that up too, because we did ask the Village of West Dundee if they'd like to participate, but they declined.
Right.
So this will be an East Dundee map only with East Dundee events on the back. So we'll get that printed ASAP.
Great.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. And then, of course, as always, there's always need for volunteer work. So, Sarah, Trish, I know the rest of the board knows all this. And if you're able to take part and, help come down and donate an hour of your time or more or whatever to get involved and help out, set up chairs, take down chairs, hand out wristbands, whatever, we encourage you to do it because these kind of things don't just happen. We all pitch in on it. So hopefully Jennifer will be the source on that then, or whoever will hand out the duties, but whoever it is, just let me know what I can do. So I like to take part. So the only one on the phone that I see that might want to help add something is Chris Cayos, our member of the Kane County Board. Chris, did you have anything you wanted to add tonight?
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Yeah, my name is Chris Cayos. I'm the Kane County Board member for District 23, which is just north of East Dundee, but it's been a pleasure to sit in your meetings for the last couple of years. And I wanted to thank Lael for having me as well. But I guess he's already on the tractor. Is that what he said? He's headed to the farm?
I'm not sure. I think he's on vacation or something. I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah. It looked like he was ready to farm. Anyway, congratulations to all the new board members and congratulations to you, Jeff.
Thank you.
And I hope I can join as regularly as possible to update the members on the board. Your board member is in your district that covers East Dundee is actually Cliff Sturgis.
Right.
So if you have any questions, you can get a hold of Cliff as your board member, or I'd be happy to address any problems or any concerns or questions you have for the board as well. Even though it's mine just a little bit north, I am also the president of the Kane County Forest Preserve. So if you have questions about Forest Preserve items or anything, please get a hold of me for that. I got a couple of items here on my phone here, just to real quick. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I think last time I spoke, I mentioned that I thought that it was late summer that the bridge was going to be open, the toll bridge, the Long Meadow Parkway, but I think I misspoke. Action item or length section 2C, which is between 25 and Sandbloom, will be finished late this summer. The actual bridge should be open early next year, and it may or may not come with tolls right away. That was my last update on that one. We had item 2 was that we had a successful opening of our multi-use facility, which is the new coroner's office on Route 38 and Peck Road, down by the courthouse and the sheriff's, the jail. And it's a brand new facility. If you get a chance to come down and look at it, it's great. It's got the new court. If you ever saw the old coroner's office, you'll be amazed at it's a very nice facility. We came in under budget, under time, and it'll be enhance the safety of the Kane County residents, I'm sure, for years to come. Other items are with the what was called the CAC committee, the CARES Act committee, which distributed the $92 million for the first round of federal monies, is also helping to distribute $13 million for low-income rental assistance. And I've spoken on some of this, but just for the new board members, maybe this will help. And we're working with the State Housing Development Authority to implement that. We started in the month of April, and we should be able to continue that. They expect to have half of it or 2/3 of it distributed by the end of the summer, and should be finished up by the end of the year. That's $13 million for low-income housing rental assistance, which is initiated by the landlord and should help a more mom and pop kind of rentors. We're going through, like I mentioned, we're going through the state on that one because that's another heavy lift to get that all distributed. It sounds like 13 million sounds like a lot of money, but it's going to go pretty fast. Yeah. As far as vaccinations are concerned, we now have 3 permanent sites: Elgin Cook, which is in Elgin, Kane Vax, which is in Batavia, and Aurora Vax, which is in Aurora. And I just checked the website just before I got on, just so I would be updated on that. And there's openings on all of them, and especially the Elgin and the Aurora are just wide open if you need to get your first or second vaccination, or anybody has any questions about it. Go on Kane Vax, I think it's kanevax.org, and the health department, and you can book the appointments right online, and they're available starting tomorrow. Let's see. We also hopefully we'll have good news in the next couple of days about having a vaccination site in Carpentersville, so maybe even a little bit closer, but I don't have the full details on that. And let's see. Oh, we're working on redistricting for the county, and I don't know that it directly affects you, but we'll be working on the board members. We voted to keep 24 board members, so we'll have the same number on the board in the future upcoming election and for the next 2 or 4 years, and or at least until the next census. And we have a task force that you can listen into, and that's having weekly meetings to set that up so that we can have the reapportionment set by end of June. And I think that's it. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to sitting in. You had a very convenient time, and it's been a pleasure for the last couple of years. So
we appreciate it, Chris. Thank you. A lot of good information. Okay, well, the next item then is public comment for any non-agenda items. Is there anybody on the call that would like to address the board on a non-agenda item? No, seeing none. Okay. Well, I guess that would end our session tonight. We're going to adjourn to an executive session. So if I could have a motion to adjourn into executive session.
Do we have a separate link to go into the executive session, or are we just doing it on this one?
No, we do. There was another one that went out.
When was that?
So we'll reconvene in about 5 minutes or so.
I don't think I had that email unless it was just sent out within the last hour or two.
Gail has sent it out. So
I'll resend it to you, Scott.
Kathleen,
Okay.
could you send it to me as well? I didn't receive it.
Absolutely.
Actually, I'm having technical
have it.
difficulties with my village email address, so I may need it on my personal email address if that's possible.
Okay, why don't you text it to me? Do you have my, okay.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay, great. Why don't we take about 7 or 8 minutes then, if that's the case.
Can we get a motion in a second for the executive session?
I'll second.
Second, great.
And excuse me, trustee Andreessen, was that for employment compensation of village employees?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, it was personnel, yeah, issue. Okay, did that motion get read in to the record to adjourn to executive session?
Correct, and we're just waiting for a vote at this point.
Yeah, we got a roll call.
Okay.
Mahoney,
Yes.
trustee Andreessen,
Yes.
trustee Coonsey,
Yes.
trustee Britton,
Yes.
trustee Saviano,
Yes.
and President Lineham.
Yes. Okay, so now if we could have a motion to adjourn to executive session. Somebody.
Yep. Oh, President Miller, or excuse me, President Lineham, pardon me. That motion was just passed. So at this point,
Oh,
you're able to
all
go
right.
into executive session. And
Okay,
for
so we don't
purposes
have to
of
read it.
anyone who's
Okay.
not going into that session, the board will adjourn the meeting completely from executive. That next link, no further items will be discussed or decided upon.
Right, so we don't have to recess and we're
I'm
gonna.
back.
adjourn, so.
Correct.
Okay, so we will see you in about 5 minutes, huh?
Good night, everybody.
Take care.